I went with my girlfriend and my cousin Monica.
Oh.
We all walked to the movie theater to see the remake of The Omen. Okay, so how am I gonna summarize this plot? Have you guys seen The Omen?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
I think I
okay.
have.
So imagine The Omen,
Okay.
but with different actors,
Okay.
updated effects,
Mm-hmm.
and not as good.
Huh.
There you go. You got
Wow.
The Omen. There you go.
All righty.
Did the same director of I Know Who Killed Me direct this
No,
movie?
No, this guy
Do you
didn't.
know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy didn't direct too much. But, like, it is the whole movie. And I sent you guys my favorite fact about the film.
Yeah. Awesome.
The original writer
Oh, yeah.
the writer of the original Omen
Who's great. I would love to pick his
Yeah.
brain.
got full writing credit for the remake because the new writer just didn't change enough.
Didn't change a
Anything.
thing.
He changed little things. Like he adds a kill with that guy gets lit on fire in the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But then there's little things like when the nanny hangs herself, instead of crashing through a window, she'll just hit the wall.
Yeah.
And the hospital scene with the mom.
That's the biggest change.
Yeah.
Like, because Mrs.
yeah.
Baylock tossed that broad out the window.
Yeah.
But in this one, she just puts air in the IV.
Which that creeps.
Although
me out,
Mrs.
man.
Baylock's
Yeah.
death in this, she gets like railed by the car.
Nailed.
I
it.
liked having Mia Farrow in it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a little confusing.
I mean,
She's
Mia
so
Farrow's
beautiful.
a crazy person in real life. She's a weirdo. But it was kind of funny that Rosemary's Baby is now the nanny to the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's and Julia Stiles really pushed for it. Julia Stiles
Oh, good.
wanted Mia Farrow in it
that's
because
cool.
they had done a play together.
Yeah, and you saw what I sent you.
Oh, what?
It was just on my YouTube subscriptions from Entertainment Tonight. Julia Stiles welcomes baby number 3.
She had another
I'm
one?
just like the week of, because she has 2 in the movie and then the third one now. Oh man.
And Liev Schreiber is now the new Thorn in it. Pete Postlewaite is the Father Brennan.
Yep.
He showed up. What?
Wait, the one who's burnt. We'll get
Oh,
there.
yeah. So
Looking like Lord Voldemort.
yeah, so in the original film, the one priest who worked at the orphanage where
Yeah.
he got Damien.
He was just slightly disfigured.
Yeah, he's not the best
Yeah.
makeup
Yeah.
that guy.
I liked it better though.
Yeah. But actually, the makeup effect in the new one, he's like super
Holy
burnt. He's like,
shit.
oh,
Yeah,
horrible.
he's
Lord
like-
Voldemort.
You literally.
Also, can we
yeah.
talk about in the original? We were talking about this before. When he goes to question the nun about like the orphanage that burned down,
Yeah.
there's like that weird never-ending elevator behind her, and she steps on it, and I'm like, "What is that?" It's like a conveyor belt
Yeah, did
elevator.
you notice that? That was apparently from what I've seen on the app formerly known as Twitter, is that those types of elevators are big in Europe.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
if I don't think they could happen in America. What if you had like an old lady who like can barely get on that fucking
But, like,
thing? She's getting squished.
It never stopped, and I'm like, "Does it loop? Do you just lay down and then you're upside down on the other? How does it work? I need to know how it works." But it like scared me. I'm like, "What if you tripped and you got like cut in half?" That could have
Oh
been an
my
Omen thing.
God.
Anyway. The new makeup effect is cool. I will say when
You liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I
When
mean, it definitely
It
looks
looks
good.
so
when
like,
Father
fake.
Brennan gets hit with the pole in this one, they also add in the glass in his face.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was creepy.
But yeah, I can't stress enough. It's the same movie.
It's Psycho all over again.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Psycho. Psycho was really
Yeah.
like it's the same goddamn movie. It's like I don't know why they like. I know sometimes remakes can be annoying if they change too much, but like
Yeah.
you also can't do just the same thing.
Yeah, like, sorry to bring it up.
that's all right.
The remake of Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, like that, he made it his own.
He did.
Yeah, he
and
definitely
then
did.
this,
It wasn't
I
very
just-
good,
Yeah.
but
It
yeah.
This was not original.
No,
the
not at all.
least.
Although I looked up that writer and I think he's like a higher up executive now. So
Good for him.
yeah, good for him.
But like also all the color, the tone of this movie, like color
Yeah,
choices, like why?
the music's not really good. I don't really like the editing or the look of the movie. It's just
It's definitely a movie of its time because there's
Yeah.
a lot of movies of that
Yeah.
color aspect and style.
Yeah.
there is one edition. Julia Stiles has like visions, And some of them are creepy. Like there's the one with the red hood with the jackal skull.
yeah.
But the one is creepy of like that demon guy chucking the baby. I was like, oh, I don't like that. I like
that
how
was weird.
the fact that there's like no audio sometimes reminds me of like the dream sequence in The Exorcist when the priest is having those dream sequences. And then there
Was
is
that
stupid.
was when it was
Howdy.
like it was completely silent?
Yeah.
Because I was watching that and I had my Xbox hooked up to my capture card, and
Yeah.
sometimes my sound goes out. I just thought that was just part of that.
Yeah. So the fact that they did so much, like Julie, I feel like they focus on the mom more in this than they did in the original.
Yeah, they did.
And they give her those dream sequences and stuff. But like, I remember like in the theater being like, oh, are they gonna like work it where like she's the main character? Maybe they'll switch it at the end where she. No. It's just, what was the point? I don't understand.
I don't
the
know.
point.
And the kid was not as charming as the original boy.
No.
No offense.
I mean, he was still creepy.
He was
but
creepy,
The
but
funny thing is,
but charm is
the
right.
teaser trailer they put out. I remember I got hyped for the teaser, even though I wasn't crazy about a remake. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to see a new Omen movie. The teaser trailer was cool. It was like a Rottweiler, and then the camera pans up, and it's him on the swings. But apparently, that was his screen test, and they used it as the teaser for
really?
the film. Yeah,
It's
I
wild
need
that
to watch that.
yeah,
I didn't know that the movie came out on 666.
yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that.
Because
It was a big deal.
I remember my childhood bully got kicked off of the bus on 666. I will never forget that date because everyone, like all my friends were like, oh, he's the devil, man. He got kicked off the bus on 666. And then this movie came out that day. I'm like, man, that was a busy day.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I totally remember.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, there's cool posters for it and stuff, but
Yeah.
like, it really is just the same movie. And I was talking to
Not their poster. Their poster stinks. The one with him on the swing. That's
Oh
weird.
no, there were other cool
Yeah,
posters.
that one stinks.
Yeah, that was
Sorry,
like
I
the
cut you off.
generic one they put out. No, there were cooler posters.
Yeah.
I was talking about this movie with someone who actually liked it, Casey.
What?
You might know the person I was talking to.
Oh,
You want to tell that? Because that
Yay.
is funny.
oh! I made my boifriend watch it. I had to watch the remake, so my boyfriend and I were watching it. I fell asleep. He watched the whole thing
don't
by
worry.
himself.
You didn't miss much. It's the same.
I finished it, but he watched the whole thing. He was talking to me still the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys ran into each other at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm not flexing because you ruined it, Joey. Thanks. WrestleMania.
Sorry.
He was like, I actually didn't mind it. I'm like, and it was one of those like, even like with like the Psycho remake, if you don't know anything about the original and you didn't watch the original and you went in blind, this probably is a decent movie.
Yeah,
Again,
it's pretty decent.
it's the same script and the original is a good script, so it's not like it's a bad story or anything. It's just we know that it was done way better.
Yeah.
Better music and everything. But yeah, if you went in blind, I could see someone like him be like, yeah, it was fine.
And he was like, but if it's a remake, like, then why would it have to be so different? Like, why don't you like it? It's a remake, like, but why don't you like it?
It's
But that brings me back to the Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, that was his own.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's a good point.
I mean, it's a gamble with remakes because, like, it's different when it's like an adaptation of a book. Because, like, a lot of your movies are like, if there's multiple movies that adapt the same book, they're going to hit the same story beat. So, a lot of them will be similar. Like, we've been
Yes.
talking about, like, the Dune movies the last few years. There are similar things in all of those because you kind of have to. But, like, when it's like a movie, I don't know. I feel like you have more, you can change it a little bit more as long
Yeah.
as you, like, follow the spirit of it and the message and whatnot. But,
Which
like,
they
yeah.
very seldom do.
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
it's just the same thing, it's just kind of boring. You're
I
like,
know.
oh.
And especially because, like, I'm sorry
Oh,
to
no,
interrupt
it's
you,
okay. Go
Casey. I
ahead.
was going to say I had so much fun with the first four
Yeah.
that by the time I got to this one, I was like, I don't know how they can get much more fun than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they just tried too hard to make it because there was a lot of jump scares too.
Yeah, the
and,
jump
like,
scares were
It was
annoying.
Yeah.
too stylistic.
Yeah, it was. It
The
really
generic
was.
the generic music I didn't like.
No.
They had that thing in the beginning where like the priests are talking to the Pope and stuff. I'm like,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
this will play into it more, and then they just kind of they just disappear.
And because he was at WrestleMania, I had to see the first Omen, not with him, but I saw it with my mom, who brought her rosary beads. But he asked if he would like it, and I'm like, well, if they remade it, he probably like it.
You saw it with your mom. Wow.
I know. Oh,
Oh, and then
my poor mother. We'll
fucking
get there.
Dumbledore is Bugenhagen
Yeah.
in it.
Oh, well, they had to have.
Bugenhagen.
Yeah, but I didn't like him as much as the original Bugenhagen.
No, definitely not.
'Cause now when I see that guy, I'm like, you're Dumbledore. I
Yeah,
know
exactly.
who you are.
Mhm.
You're also the bad guy in Toys, starring Robin Williams.
Aw.
Anyway, yeah, it's if you're a fan of these movies or you've seen the original, it's a waste of time. Like I wouldn't even recommend it as a curiosity.
No.
Like because you're just gonna be annoyed.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing better in this. I like some of the actors in it. Julie Stiles is doing a good job in it, but
I mean, if you want something modern and you like the story and you don't, for some reason, like classic movies,
yeah.
maybe you'll like it. But
Oh.
if you have tastes, you probably will.
Actually, one change. When they go to the zoo, instead of a bunch of baboons, it's one gorilla.
That's right. And he
But-
smashes the glass.
Yeah, which one? It's like, oof, that's not a good zoo.
Yeah.
You're gonna wanna
That's so
reinforce
scary.
that.
That is super
But
scary.
two, it's like, hey, a couple of those wide shots lingered a little too long, and I could tell that's a guy in a suit.
Yes.
I
It
thought
was
the
a guy.
same thing,
It totally
yeah.
was a guy in
Yeah.
a suit.
All
And
could
I know
think of
this
was-
because I worked with a person in a gorilla suit on that TV show I worked on briefly. We had a
Wow.
whole day where a guy came with a gorilla suit with the practical effect.
Oh.
We actually did a thing where like the guy, it was the Ed Bassmaster TV show. A lot of you are probably familiar with the YouTuber. He had his own TV show. It was like one season on CMT. And we did a thing where he had the gorilla in the truck, and we would have people like, hey, can you help me lift this truck up? And we'd open up the door and the gorilla would come out
Oh
and
my
people were
gosh,
freaking out.
that's awesome.
So me like seeing a guy in a gorilla suit in person
Yeah.
and watching this movie, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
I would have trimmed a couple of those, maybe zoom up on the
You're
face.
totally right. It was. It
So-
reminded me of Trading Places. That's
Oh,
whatever I
that.
think of.
I was thinking of that and
Yeah.
George of the Jungle, too.
George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Such
Classic
a great movie.
I love that movie.
Again,
That's my dream wedding.
Joey, we've talked about this.
Classic.
A movie you watched when you were 5 is not necessarily a classic.
That is a
In
classic.
this case,
that
it's
movie.
a classic.
Every fucking movie is just like Clock Stoppers. Oh, classic.
A fucking
movie.
2002 classic,
And I
man.
fucking knew you. I pulled that name out of my ass, and I knew you.
No,
Love
George of the
that
Jungle
movie.
is a classic.
Oh, so is Clock Stoppers.
Oh, what about Dudley Do-Right, the other Brendan
Oh,
Fraser
I like that one.
Oh, that is also a classic. Not as big of a class. There's different levels to this shit, man.
We had to have our own like episode of our favorite movies because these are all my favorites too.
Just looking around now. Oh,
We'll get our DComs on here soon enough.
Oh, you mean the 2003 Inspector Gadget 2 classic?
Which I
Oh.
have a tape of somewhere.
Get
So good.
ready all night, see run, come, dance, dance,
Jesus
dance,
Christ,
have some
you know the
fun.
song.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up, get up.
From Dusk Till Dawn 2, the direct-to-video sequel.
Texas Blood Money. I
Yeah.
love that one.
You know,
Classic.
it's a classic.
Texas Blood Money, baby.
So you didn't see the remake of The Omen until recently.
Until just now.
If he had watched it in 2006, you'd be like, oh, God. Oh,
Oh,
that's a
classic.
classic. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you, it's a classic. Yeah, that very well might be the case, and I'm glad that it's not. I'm glad we're not in that universe. Because the first 4, great.
So that director didn't direct anything else
Nothing of note when I looked it up.
because
hold on,
he wasn't a good storyteller.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look it up. Maybe there's something that
Okay.
stuck out. Hold on. He directed some good movies and some very, very bad ones.
Really?
He directed Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson.
Wow.
That's a good movie.
Wow.
With Gene Hackman and Owen Wilson. That's a good one. Then he directed Flight of the Phoenix. Didn't see it. The Omen. And then he directed Max Payne starring Mark Wahlberg. The
Wahlberg,
video,
yeah.
the movie adaptation of the video game
yeah.
Max Payne. And then A Good Day to Die Hard. The worst
Oh,
Are you
Die
kidding?
Hard
my
movie.
God.
No.
That tracks.
I love
Yeah.
Justin Long.
That
though.
tracks.
That's not the Justin Long one.
What?
That's the one after the Justin Long one's fine. A Good Day to Die Hard, where he goes to Russia, is awful.
I don't even remember if I've seen that one.
Don't.
Casey, I had to see it. I've told this story before. So I've only ever been dumped once in my life.
I think you've told me this one.
Yep,
pretty good track record.
2013, I got dumped by a girl, and I was really, really sad. And my friend Keith went, "Hey, buddy, I know you're really like down in the dumps, but I'll make you feel better. I'll take you to see the new Die Hard." And then we had to watch director John Moore's A Good Day to Die Hard. And I walked out of the theater so angry. I told him, I'm like,
We're not friends anymore.
no, I basically told him, like, dude, that made me so angry. I don't even care about the breakup anymore. Like, that was way worse. Oh my God.
It worked. It did its job.
Wow. Now I know, instead of when my girlfriends break up with their boyfriends, instead of sending them my Spotify playlist, send them that movie recommendation.
Or you can send our numbers to them.
I love that. You
Right,
got
you're gonna
it.
send no, I don't think your
Best
girlfriend
guys here.
I don't think your girlfriends are gonna watch A Good Day to Die Hard and get angry. They're gonna be like, what? They're gonna be like, Jai Courtney's cute. Like they're not gonna
Wow. Wow.
I can't agree.
they're gonna
That's
be
what
like,
you
I
think?
need a guy as ripped as Jai Courtney. And then people like me are gonna be like, oh well, fuck, I lost out to a Jai Courtney again. Yeah, so The Omen 2006. Don't watch it. I gotta pee so bad.
Okay.
All right.
So then that brings us to the first Omen, which that title annoys me. 'Cause
It is
I was like,
annoying.
so in the first Omen, no, not the first Omen,
Yeah.
the first Omen.